My name is Mylin Calvin. I am the COO for Bento System Software, which is the software program that you're looking at today. Bento is a very powerful and comprehensive software system, and it pulls together many aspects of your organization into one easy to manage and easy to use place. And that starts with what we call our headquarters. So your headquarters is essentially everything that's going on in your organization. So at a very high level, you can see all of the teams that are within your organization and all of the projects that are happening at any given time, including the statuses. You can also use all of these HQ tools, so you can see all of the contacts, all of the companies, the different comments, all of your team members, the tasks. Any of these tools you can use at the HQ level. Not everyone in your organization may need this HQ level of access, so if you need to change who has that high level of permission, you can do so right here. So you can manage your team, whether they are staff members or volunteers. You can add them as individual team members in our team members section, and you can store documents on them, their personal information. You can store their payroll details, and also if you are an organization who needs to schedule either staff members or volunteers or both onto schedules or shifts, you can set that team member's availability so that when you are creating schedules and shifts on a project in the future, the system knows when they are available, so you can automatically just schedule the people that are available without having any sort of overlap with team members and having some scheduling issues. So we found that to be a very powerful system for people who use scheduling and scheduling on shifts to make that very easy for them. And once you have all your team members listed into the team member section, if they need a login to Bento, you can give them one. If they don't need one, then you don't have to enable them access to be able to log in. And then you can start to organize them into teams. So these are our various teams across our organization. So we have added each of our team members, whether they are staff members, contractors, or volunteers, we have added them into one of these teams to keep everything organized. And then each of those teams are able to collaborate on the different work projects that they're working on. Is our contacts manager, or also commonly called a CRM. For us, that starts with this area called companies. You can call it whatever you want. As you can see, each of these cards are customizable for whatever makes sense for your organization. So in this area, you are storing all of the organizations that you want to keep in contact with, whether they're customers, partner companies, anyone that you just want to keep up with. You can store in this information in this area. So as an organization as a whole, you can store their contact information. You can store any notes on that organization, as well as adding all of the individual contacts that you know at that organization. I'm going to use Joe as an example. As an individual contact, you can also store all of that individual's contact information, the payment method for this customer, if they are a customer. You can create tasks either for yourself or assign them out to a team member on that contact. So let's say your sales team needs to follow up with this person. You can assign that to yourself or one of your sales team members. You can create projects on that contact. And I'll also note two things that are important up here. We have different and customizable customer types that can, or contact types that can be pulled into the system. So for Joe, we pulled him in as a customer contact type, and for that contact type, we create what are called customizable contact workflows, and you can do the same for your organization, whatever makes sense for your team. So for us, as Joe, as a customer contact type, this is the contact workflow that we've set up for a customer. So at any point, we can move Joe through any of these statuses. So that means that if I need to look at something specifically for Joe, I can see it on his contact card. Or if I want to look at all of my contacts at one time, I can choose the list view. You have different views that you can see. The list view is one of them, and in that view, I can see grouped together by status where different contacts are. So that gives me a good idea at a high level where my different contacts are really at any given time. And there's one more thing I'll note about our CRM. It's integrated with our forms tool. So we have these two forms set up. So for any of our people who fill out this form on the website, they are automatically pulled into our contacts manager. So that eliminates a step for one of your team members to have to do, and that creates more efficiency within your team. The other thing that I'll note is that on these different forms, you can assign a task. So let's just say you want specific people on your sales team to be notified when this form is filled out. You'll automatically be given a task whenever someone fills out this form. So that also eliminates another step of having to reach out to a sales team member, and also creates some efficiency so that you don't have to have a physical team member manually do that information, and just creates ease of use and has one central place that all of that information lives. Is our project management tool. For us, we call projects projects, but for your organization, it might make more sense to call a project a job, a work order, a job ticket, anything like that. Whatever you call it, we have a variety of project management tools that can help your team stay organized and keep all of the information related to a project in one area. I'm going to go ahead and use our Bento blog that we call Blind Spots as an example. I currently have all of the project management tools turned on for this project, so I can show them to you, but if you don't need all of these projects on any given project, you can change the tools that you're using here. So you'll notice that these have different tags on them. This is where you can tag an individual user that needs to have access to this project, or a team as a whole. We use this tagging system as a sharing and permission system. So you can give permission or share this information with whatever team or team member needs to have access to it. And you'll also notice that there is a project type that I've assigned to this project, as well as a customized project workflow. So for each project type, you have the option to create a customized project workflow, whatever makes sense for your business. For us, for a standard project, I set up the different project statuses as in progress, planning, and done. Again, you can customize that for whatever makes sense for your organization. So that means that at any given time, you can see at a high level the different statuses that all of your projects are in. And we have all of these project tools currently turned on right now, and I'm going to go ahead and start with our tasks tool. So we have a tasks tool on each project that you can turn on, and this is where you can assign out tasks to yourself, to other team members, and we also have recurring tasks. So if this is an ongoing project and there's tasks that recur, you can assign those in this area. And then you'll notice there's this My Tasks area. So if you've assigned tasks to yourself, they will populate here, or for each individual team member who has a user account with Bento, any task that has been assigned to them will populate in their My Tasks area. So next I'll go to our scheduling tool. In our team section, I previously mentioned that on each team member, you can set availability for that team member. That's so that whenever you're on a project, you can create schedules and shifts on those schedules, and then assign the team members that were available onto that schedule. And the system automatically knows who's available based on what you set the availability for that team member. So the next is our calendar tool, and the calendar tool compiles all of the schedules with shifts that you have created in this project, as well as the tasks, onto a calendar, so you can see at a high level what's going on with that project and when. And we have this tool as well that's a messaging and documents housing tool, or file housing tool. This is where you can create text documents, you can house actual files related to that project, or you can link out to files like a Google document, a Google Sheet, or a Dropbox file link in this area. And it's just a way to compile all of the information that you would need to house on a project or work order in one area. You can also set the point of contact for that project, so everyone that is collaborating on this project knows who the point of contact is from a client perspective. So this integrates with our contacts manager or CRM. And we also have a proposals and billing tool. This is a very powerful tool where you can create proposals. You can create multiple proposal versions, send a digital contract, have that digital contract signed, and have a client pay any invoices that you have set up for in this area for that client. So I'll show you what that looks like on your client end. So when you send a proposal to a client or customer, they will see the different versions that you created. This is just an example. So from this area, they'll be able to see each version and be able to approve, provide notes, or decline a proposal. Once they have approved a proposal, they will then get sent through these different steps. So the next step would be that the client is able to view and digitally sign the contract, and then they would be taken to the third step, which is for them to pay an invoice that you have set up for them. So we try to keep all of that in one area as a very powerful tool. So again, this is our projects management system. These are all of the tools available, and like I said, you can use all of them or as many make sense for that individual project. What I would like to share with you is our inventory system. Within the system, you have the ability to manage your stock items, also products and product packages. So if you are an organization who needs to manage any of these items, we have a tool for you to do that. In this area, you can manage stock items. Like I mentioned, I'll just give you a couple of examples. So a material stock item would be a stock item that doesn't necessarily have to be perishable, but you can also, if you do have perishable items, you have the ability within our inventory system to manage those things as well. You also have the ability from stock items to create products and product packages. So these are examples of some products, whether you have physical products or are a service-based organization and offer different services, you can still create products out of them and product packages. And this is also integrated with our projects and proposals and billing tools. So if you have your items that you're managing in our inventory system and you need to add them to a proposal, the projects are integrated with our inventory system so that you would be able to do that, and the pricing is already set in our inventory system for you. You can also add surcharges and any vendors that you work with, you'd be able to manage them, as well as creating any discounts that you needed to. So this is a very powerful system. If you are an organization that has any sort of products or services, this is a great and easy way, and in one system that's integrated with the rest of your business management system to house all of that information. Bento is a very powerful and comprehensive system that pulls together many of the different aspects of your organization into one spot. This was just a quick run through of the power of Bento. There's a lot of customization that can happen to make the system work really well for your whole organization and the teams within it. If you'd like to test it out, we do offer a free 7-day trial, and you can get set up for free and cancel at any time if you do not care to use the software system moving forward. I appreciate your time today. If you're interested in that free trial, click below to get started.